LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Let me tell you something right now, okay? You know, this is the aftermath of the interview that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had. He made some inflammatory comments, and, you know, a lot of people are pretty much upset. Now, you know, me, I'm just like, man, you know, Floyd just, I don't know, man. Floyd need to just stop talking. That's what really he need to stop doing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. need to quit talking. Because he'll say something and it'll make complete sense. And then he'll say something and you like, why is he saying that? It's almost like this dude, you know, really, I don't know, it's almost like Floyd say things to get a rise out of people. Like, and I think he pick and choose who he wants to get a rise out of at that particular time. It's kind of weird how this guy thinks, man. He don't think like a normal person. Floyd don't think like a normal person. He just don't. And you know, he was saying that, you know, hey, when it comes to the police, black people, what they need to do is sit back and they need to listen. You know, they need to follow instructions, you know. And I think, in my opinion, I think he meant that in the context of, hey, you know what, in order to stay alive, you need to follow instructions. I honestly believe that that's what he meant. But see, some of the other stuff, you know, I still got to ask Floyd. I got to ask him. What about the black people that were following instructions? How about them? You know, the ones that got killed. How about those black people that were actually following instructions? What about Philando Castile? How about him? He was following instructions. He reached to get his ID and he was shot. He reached to get his ID and he was shot. That's what he did. He reached in, the officer told him to grab his ID and the officer shot him. Right there in front of his girlfriend. Like, you know, I mean, I don't understand. Was he not following instructions? And, you know, it amazed me when stuff like this happen. You know, the first thing they do is they'll try to pull up our criminal records. You know, if we have a criminal record, they'll try to pull that up. And then when they can't find that, they'll just try to, you know, deframe the person's character. And it's always the same thing, man. So, you know, I just got to ask Floyd, how about the people that were following instructions? I mean, I want to know what his comment is about those people that still got shot. How you going to explain this? You see, here's the thing, man. I roll with a lot of dudes in the LDBC. I roll with dudes, and they cool. They cool people. You know, I definitely, you know, enjoy talking and mixing it up with some of these dudes. But I got to tell y'all, I don't think there's anybody that I mix it up with. I can't. That if they saw somebody in the street dying, they may be, you know, upset about a lot of things, but I think really the humane part of people that I roll with, I don't think if they saw somebody in the street dying, they would just let them there and just let them die. I don't think so. Matter of fact, I'm pretty much willing to bet that there's nobody that I communicate with in the LDBC that would just let a person die. I'm talking about literally, you see them physically dying. No matter what they are, they're hanging on for life, and you could help them, and you wouldn't do it. I understand my code. I understand that that's what I would do. I would help. I know I would, and I think many other people that I collaborate with in the LDBC, I think they would do that too. But see, I think we live under a different code. I think just like on these boxing channels, you know how we do our videos, where we call everything pretty much down the middle in the LDBC, whether we like the fighter or not. But see, for them on the other side, that doesn't relate to us, because they'll never call it fair for us. They'll never do it. They never do. These guys, they never call it fair. It doesn't matter what it is, man. It don't even matter what their fighter of their nationality have done. It's never going to be fair. They don't ever call it fair for us. But we have a tendency to do that because we have a better moral code of ethics, man. And I think in most of our mind, we do. We don't want to see people's lives ended. We don't want to see that. I think all lives matter except for ours. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Because of all these shootings that the police, they've been doing. And it's just like, you know, the people characters in each one of these cases, man, the characters are always defamed. The characters are always beat up, man. These guys, the media have these guys looking like criminals, like common criminals that should be dead. There's even a little study on YouTube, and you can go Google it, man. And these guys, what they did, man, is they took people of different nationalities and they went up to the police and really were just going up to them for different reasons. And they videotaped how these police responded. It's on YouTube. You got to do, I think it's called Police Response to Nationalities. Type that in, and then this video will pop up. It's an old video. But these guys, they were a group of guys, and they different nationalities. They went up to police officers, and they literally seen how police officers respond, okay, to different nationalities. That's what they did on some of the same situations. And you'd be surprised, man. You know, with the other nationalities, you know what the police did? They immediately, started to react and actually, try to help them. You know, with all the black guys that came up, and they put the typical stereotypical black dude, they put him there. They had one guy with braids and, had his pants a little bit sagging. He went up to the police and he asked them, hey, I need help. And they started asking him a lot of questions. They questioned him. But all the other races, they said nothing. They immediately reacted. Which, that kind of shows you right now that there is a problem in this country with the police and black people. It really is. Okay? And people can try to deny it. You can do this, but man, that you can't really put it down, man. You can't deny it. And I'm sure there are, like the woman, there are some good cops who are speaking out. Like there's this woman, she's a cop, and she spoke out about some of the things that was going on. And I don't even know if y'all remember a guy named Christopher Dorner. He was on that manhunt, and they killed this dude because, he went crazy because he started speaking out about some of the things going on. And the police, man, they turned on him, and they pretty much, man, they killed him. And Christopher Dorner, I can't co-sign a lot of things that he did. He was killing people, families and stuff, and that had nothing to do with what was going on. But the gist of the message is, man, he was pretty much telling you that the system is very corrupt. And they did everything that they could to shut this dude up, man. And they did. They ultimately ended up shutting him up. But, I mean, he spoke out. And look what happened to him. And this woman, this black woman, she spoke out against the police. And she's a cop. And I can tell you what, man, they're going to start coming after her, man. You see, man, the thing of it is, man, the good cops, they don't have any incentive, man, to speak out. Because these good cops, man, they don't want their livelihood messed up, and they ain't gonna say nothing, man. They gonna sit right back there. They may not partake in it. They may disagree with what's going on, but they're not gonna do or say anything because they don't want their families attacked. They don't want their livelihood gone. They don't want to end up like Christopher Dorner. They don't want to end up like that. So they just sit back quietly, idle. Now, I'll never forget years ago, man, when I got pulled over, man. I got pulled over, and this police officer, man, he was being real. I mean, man, he was just being ridiculous, But I don't ever elevate my level at a police officer because I actually want to end up making it to the next day. So, of course, I filed a complaint, and the chief of police back then, I knew him. He was a brother named Rodney Monroe. He met with me one-on-one, man, and, got back. I mean, he was a cool brother, man, but he got out, too, because of all the politics, man. He got out of being a chief of police because of the politics here in the city. And he just went ahead and retired, man. But, he talked to me, man, and just told me, he has some stuff behind closed doors that I can't really repeat. But, he told me what the deal was. And, this guy was just being ridiculous, man. And it was this woman, man. It was a black woman. She was there. And you could tell she was uncomfortable, man, because he kept asking me, hey, can I search your car? And I kept saying, no. What you want to search my car for? I'm going to work. Well, somebody that fit your description, you said that somebody transporting drugs. I said, well, that ain't me. Okay, so you got the wrong person. Well, can we search the car? No, I'm not searching the car. For what? So you can tear it up, have all my stuff out there, have my seats cut up, and then, to say, oh, well, we ain't find any. Yeah, have a good day. Because, when you allow them to search your car and they tear it up, then they're not liable for any of the damages because you gave them permission to do these things. So I'm hip to that, man. I understand what they be trying to do. So I was like, nope, you can't search my car. You're not searching my car, and that's just the way that is. And, you can tell, man, the woman who was there, she was, like, really, really uncomfortable, man. Like, she really was not feeling what he was doing. And she was just looking. And, I turned to her, I said, ma'am, I mean, I looked at her and I said, ma'am, I'm not transporting any drugs. I said, I'm going to work. And this was about maybe 6 years ago. I said, I'm going to work. I'm going to work, okay? I mean, this is the second time that's happened, man. And I'm like, I'm going to work. Who do I look like? I said, I got on my I'm wearing my work clothes. You can see my badge. You can see all this. Who do you think I look like? Because I don't understand. And no, you're not searching my car. You're not ripping my car to shreds, because I had an older car, man. This was back when I was like 25. And I let a cop search my car, man. They took a knife, a blade, and cut up my seats, man. And I'm like, what? And they wasn't liable for it. So I learned that lesson. Nope, absolutely not. I said, no, you ain't searching my car. And you're not getting police dogs in there to slob and piss all over the place. No, you're not doing that either. But you can tell she was uncomfortable with his line of questioning, because he was just asking stuff like, well, how do I know you're not pushing this stuff because, people like you every day? And I said, what you mean people like me? And he was like, oh, you getting smart? No, I ain't getting smart. I just asked you a question. See, this was years ago, but see, now I understand now, man. You ask something like that, man. If you ask a question like that, you're liable to get killed. So for Floyd to come out, man, Floyd, the life don't matter if it's yours. Look how many times people done try to put you under the bus. Look, and then people took pleasure in it too, man. They love watching you, man, go to jail. They loved it. Even maybe some of the stuff wasn't even true, man, but they just love watching you go to jail because it was you. I'm serious. But that's just the way that is. That's just the way that is. So Floyd, congratulations, man. You really put yourself out there this time, and you outdid yourself this time. Because I know you really don't care, but you alienate most of the people, man, who we really ride with you. And we supported you for all these years, and we stood up for you. We stood up for you when nobody else would stand for you. We did. We did. And it's kind of a shame, because now we know where you stand. But, I guess when you have all the money in the world, and when you have everything given, when you have it all at your fingertips, why have respect? This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.